Welcome back to the Melanated Love.
We gotta do that shit.
Why should I out?
I like it, man. I like it.
Welcome back to the Melanated Love YouTube channel. I'm Deandra.
I'm Daddy. I'm Thornton. Sorry.
And today we're coming at you with a video about our long distance relationship. So a continuation of kind of how we met. Our last video we talked about how we met in Dubai. He was solo traveling, I was working out there. We had a really good time. We spent 48 hours together and I wouldn't say fell in love, but it was an intense, let's just say it was an intense 48 hours.
So yeah, like we said, the purpose of the video is to kind of discuss long distance relationship, how we made it work from, at the time, it was Boston to Dubai. And then it was Boston to London, and it was crazy.
Before we get started, babe, we are not going on for more than 20 minutes.
Alright, got
So
you.
whatever you gotta say. Cheers.
Cheers. So basically, yeah, like I'll give you my context to the situation. So where we left off was basically me leaving Dubai, and like an intense kind of long distance relationship begins immediately.
Literally.
Like immediately, it was. Like, we couldn't get enough of each other. We still can't pray to God that it's a situation that we're 80, 85, still grabbing the ass. It was crazy. Again, like, I never felt an intense feeling, intense, like, heartthrob. It was intense, for lack of better terms.
He left Dubai. It was really hard. It felt like a hard time. Like, I'm saying it like we knew each other, like, but it was difficult. But obviously we stayed in touch. Literally, he was messaging me all the way up to the airport, when he got to the airport, when he had his stopover, when he got back to America. We then obviously figured that he was like 8 hours behind me.
Yeah, we realized that I was 8 hours behind, so
yeah,
that truth kind of hit us hard.
quite hard.
But it was, again, like, it was like, damn, like, all right, cool, how are we gonna make this work? It would, like, there was no, like, hiccup, there was no misstep, there was no pause. Like, I know everyone's situation isn't the same, but like for us, it was a situation where it was like, all right, 8 hours, like, I sleep late, so
yeah. And I obviously have to be up really early for teaching, because I was teaching, so I was like up at 5:36. So when I would wake up at 5:36, it would be like what, 1 a.m, 2 a.m,
like something like that. Yeah,
is it?
like, so it was,
No,
we wake up 6
p.m.
we got 6,
I'm
so
actually bugging.
6, it was like 10.
It was 8.
Nah, it was like 10.
No, hold on. 6 minus 6 takes you to 12.
Yeah.
Minus the extra 2. Oh yeah, it was like 10.
Yeah, it was like 10. So I was like, probably for the most part, I got into a routine where I would, instead of trying to go to gym early, I would go to gym late.
Yeah.
And then, like, basically got to a point that, like, she would fall asleep on the phone, like, make sure her phone was charged.
So he would go work.
Yep. I would get out of work.
At like, no, you'd go work at like 8, 9. I would be 8 hours ahead of that. So it maybe like be when I'm finishing work.
Around that time, yeah.
So when I'm coming off work, we speak to each other. Then obviously we speak like the whole evening. Then I would fall asleep on the phone, and then he would use that time to go to the gym. And then when I wake up, he's finished at the gym, and then
home cooking.
Then he's at home,
cleaning.
and then he falls asleep on the phone to me, and then I would wake him up the next day because I'd be at work, and literally the cycle went on and on and on. This showed me that, like, all these people that are like, oh, this is going on in my life, that's going on in my life, this is going on in my life, so this isn't gonna work and that isn't gonna work. That just means that they don't want it to work. Like, if you want it to work, you will do absurd things. And at the time, it didn't seem like anything. Like, it seemed casual, normal.
Yeah, because we
were both so invested.
Yeah, we made it so natural. It was like, it wasn't like a thought process. Like, like she like would fall asleep on the floor. Like,
but thinking about it now, it sounds like we were doing a lot. We was definitely doing a lot. But when you're in the moment, when that's the person that you wanna, that you kind of enjoy, you enjoy their company. So it didn't matter that he wasn't there with me. We were literally always together. Like, we were always on the phone. Yeah. The only times we weren't on the phone was when one person had fallen asleep and the other person had
and to be honest, it got to a point like after like week 3, like it was just so, like week 3, it was to the point where like I was already planning to come back. Week 3, yeah, she didn't realize.
I did.
She knew, but she didn't believe me. So basically, I kept telling her, like, I'm coming back. I'm buying
the night he left Dubai, and we had that big long hug that we talked about in our last video. He said to me, I'm coming back. And I'm like, okay, like,
Like, there's no
guys
way
say shit all the time. So I was like, yeah, cool. See you when you come back. But I did not take him like seriously at all.
Third week in, like from leaving, coming back, I came back probably end of March, like right beginning of April. 3 weeks, and I was transitioning from another job, so like, the timing fell in the perfect place where I could like, I gave my notice. I had 2 weeks off. I was like, yo, I'm coming back. She's like, you're lying, and I sent her the ticket.
Yeah, I woke up from sleep. Yeah. Like, I opened my WhatsApp and there's a plane ticket in there, and I'm thinking. I remember sending it to my group chat because I'd already told them, but like basically I used to call him American Bay. So to my Dubai friends, I had told them about American Bay. I never really said his name. I think for me, because it didn't feel real. So I didn't want to put a name to him. So I just used to call him American Bay. Anyone that is in Dubai right now or lived with me when I was in Dubai will attest to this. Like, I just called him American Bay all the time. So American Bay drops a ticket in the WhatsApp and I share it with the girls. I'm like, yo, American Bay is coming back to Dubai. And they were like, what? Because obviously they didn't get to meet him the first time. Like, they just heard the story. They hadn't met him because I was with my London girls at that time. So when I told them that he was coming back, they were like, what?
So like that third week, we got to a point where she was falling asleep on the phone, and like I kept the phone on the whole time. Like when she woke up, I don't think
it was ever awkward.
Never.
Like, it was a natural.
Just like, everything was transitioning like seamlessly. Like she would fall asleep and she would wake up and the phone was still on. Like I told her to charge the phone before she go to bed, and like she would wake up and she would say my name, but she would, because it like we just connected really well. Like she would wake up in the middle of the night and then she's like, I'm sorry. And we talk for a little second. She would fall asleep. It was one of it was like kind of like it's crazy to say, but like those Disney stories, those like romantic stories, whatever. That's how I feel like it played out, because everything was like, it wasn't forced, it wasn't fake, it was just so natural. So I come back to Dubai the second time within a month, and like she was shitting.
I remember I didn't believe him at first, and then it dawned on me like, this guy's actually coming to Dubai. So I was like, I had a laser hair removal appointment, I had my nails done. I actually I made this wig.
It's a family channel.
I mean, I made this wig. Yeah, I made this wig. I took some, like, at the time, obviously it was very short notice. I didn't have time to order hair, blah blah. So I literally took another wig apart and then reconstructed a new wig. So I had to look fly, dyed it jet black to bring out my chocolate brown skin. So I made this wig. Like, I was doing the most. I had a checklist of things. Obviously I'm a teacher, so I had a checklist of things I had to do before Sultan's arrival. The first time you came, did we stay in? He booked hotel.
Yeah. Like, again, it's like as dope as it was, there was respect there, where it was like, I didn't expect to
stay at my place.
Stay at our house.
I was like panicking, like, is he expensive?
Because we spoke, the thing about it, so we communicated, like we were like best of friends, but it was like, all right, cool, like, yeah, this is only the second time we've met, so like,
so I was
let me get the hotel.
Yeah. Like, I said I didn't want you to come and stay.
Nah, you weren't 100%. You wasn't there. I was like, let me just get that.
I wasn't comfortable. Yeah, like, it was kind of like, I was kind of like,
okay.
And then he was like, no, it's cool, I'll get a hotel. So I was like, that really put me at ease. And the weekend he was coming, I was still working. I worked until, I was working basically. But yeah, he got a hotel, and the day finally came. Again, another bargain hunted dress. I love bargain hunting. And I found this. The white dress, remember? The
white dress?
With the button up.
When you came to pick me up?
Yeah.
Listen.
I came to pick him up. I had my hair literally brand new, fresh, slayed. And I was wearing this white, like, it was like a shirt dress. It was very much like meeting the mom for the first time. It was very conservative. It was kind of like calf.
What?
Calf.
What does that mean?
The calf, your calf of your leg.
Oh, your calf.
Calf.
What?
It was like calf length. And it had like just a floral design on it, but it was just very like modest and, you know, no skin. He'd already seen the skin at the club, so I was like, cover it all up.
Listen, to give you context a bit, those 3-4 weeks of texting wasn't just romantic shit. It was like intense. Raunchy, like, yo, I am going to eat you alive. Listen, we were just so into each other, let's say that. So the minute I saw her, like,
I was
Dubai
I was shaking. Yeah. I was nervous.
Like Dubai was, I got off the plane. I felt like that Dubai air hit.
Bear in mind, he had flown from Boston to Dubai the month before. Okay, this is his first time in Dubai. Now, 1 month later, he's landing back in Dubai after like a 13-hour flight or something. Yeah. If a guy tells you he doesn't have time for you, dead that guy.
Listen, I told my friends.
Flew 13 hours.
My friend, my cousin, they're like, yo, wildin'. There's no way you're going back. I'm like,
wilding.
I'm like, I'm not gonna wear. Swipe.
He got on the
plane.
Back. He came back. I picked him up from the airport.
The thing about it too, like friends that didn't know what was going, they're like,
"Oh, what you did?
Like, yo, oh, why you acting Dubai?" And like, it didn't take like a genius to figure out. They were trying to put it together. I wouldn't tell them, but
and we posted no pictures for it.
Yeah, they're like, yo, there's no reason why. Like, Dubai's not down there.
Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the reason why they're confused.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I picked her up from the airport. I was literally asking, bricking it.
She was scared as hell. She didn't know what to do with herself, but I just wanted to eat her alive. Like, it's no better way to say it. Like, look at her. Look at this. She's scrumptious. Like, so I saw her again. And I'm like, yo, like, I've been dying to see her again. Like, again, like, for context reasons, like,
we've been talking like 24 hours a day.
Like, every day. Like, I left her. The way I left her was like, I've never felt like that with anyone, anything, like nothing like that before in my life. So it was like I knew, and then like from the conversations we had, I'm like, yo, this is a girl. So like it was a situation. I've never been in long distance with someone that's like more than an hour away from me. So imagine like
I had. So for me, it was like
it wasn't too
like
bad.
A shock too much because I've done it before.
8 hours away time wise, 6,640 miles away. Like,
are you sure that's accurate?
It's around that. Like, I gotta look at the numbers again. Yeah, got to Dubai.
Got in. Did you kiss me?
We waited to the car, and I swear to God, we kissed for like 30 minutes.
I was like, obviously, I'm like, I was not planning to kiss him, and he just leant in.
She was.
Leaned in.
Come on.
He leaned in.
Yeah.
And just kissed me, and I was like.
The thing about it, like I was about to do it in the elevator, but she pointed at the camera, was like, yo, you're trying to get us arrested. And I'm like, yo, like, why is there so many restrictions in this freaking Dubai place? But
disclaimer, just very quickly, all the shaking of the camera is because Thornton is being very passionate in this conversation. Yeah, he's like, banging. I'm talking about my baby. Everything, and it's making our camera shake. So
talking about my baby.
Hopefully he'll stop.
Anyways, I'm not. So like, yeah, like I almost kissed her in the elevator. She pointed at the camera like, yo, you're trying to get us arrested. I was like, I don't care. But, I waited. Clearly I'm not arrested. I'm still out here. But once we got in the car, like once we got in the car, like the kiss felt like it was like
not like it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was just like I felt like I was home.
And then he suggested we drive down to the beach. Bear in mind it's like 11 p.m, 12 p.m, 12 a.m. And he's like, we should drive to the beach. So I've taken him down to the beach where we were meant to meet that time.
The thing about it, she was
the first
time. But she realized the next day we went to the beach in the morning. She was like, yo, I'm so sorry I didn't take you to the beach the first time because she saw me shirtless. So she's like, yo,
we didn't get there yet.
I'm just letting you know now. Like,
anyway, so we went to the beach at night. We was just sat on the beach. Literally, it was pitch black. I was quite scared because the water was right there, and we were just cuddling, talking. But it was literally like we had known each other for so long.
I felt like for me, the beach. I love the beach at night. Like that is my thing. Beach in the morning, the sunrise, moonlight. It just feels like the world is talking to you, and it just feels so natural. So like taking her there for like
I took him there.
Yeah.
It was my country.
Yeah, but my idea anyways. But like being able to go there with her and like just being able to like, you know, like reconvene or we started, it was just amazing.
It was
like,
good.
You know,
Really nice.
that's kind of like our first date essentially. We went somewhere else.
Oh no, we did go and eat.
They went to
we ate first.
No.
Yeah, we ate at Dubai Mall. Remember? We ate at Dubai Mall. Then we went to the beach really late. We ate the some Red Lobster, Red Lobster, something like that.
Yeah, so Red Lobster is dope in the US.
Had never been.
Yeah, but
I didn't know what it was.
In Dubai, like Dubai is amazing. Don't get me wrong, Dubai is amazing, but
some of the restaurants there
they cook
different,
like things differently. So, but yeah.
So we went Nikki.
Yep.
Nikki was really good. I think like one thing to note as well is that like obviously our relationship was very fresh. I don't know if we really even called it a relationship by then. I think we did. But like it was very fresh, and like I think it's really important as women that sometimes we need to treat a man. So like Nikki was that whole trip. Obviously he had bought the ticket and all of that. I was in shock, but I planned the itinerary and I kind of took him out. Like so that when he was out in Dubai that time, everything was I think he definitely chipped in here and there. Yeah. But it was more so me showing him my city and taking him around. So I had booked staff, paid for stuff, whatever. So I think as a woman, like in as much as obviously men are supposed to be chivalrous and he is 100% chivalrous, and to be honest, I rarely take my wallet anywhere. That at that time when we were both getting to know each other, I think, and that goes for any relationship, like don't always just sit back and hope for the best. Like I feel like that first trip I let you know that
first trip like intentionally for you.
I let you know that I guess you kind of set the standard, like okay, you're coming out, this is what I'm doing for you. So if it's the other way around, I expect, do you know what I mean, like a similar caliber, similar vibe. So yeah, it was really good.
That trip, that's so like I didn't even like I booked a ticket. I didn't care what we were doing. Like legit didn't care. I'm like, I'm coming. Like, alright, get right. So I'm coming in a week.
Literally gave me a week's notice.
And I didn't even like I'm like, yo, I didn't care about itinerary. I just wanted to be with her. But like she shocked me. Like think about it now. Like sometimes you forget certain things, but think about it now. Like yeah, we like the first night wasn't planned per se.
Yeah, you got dinner.
Yeah, I got like we did that, but like the next day, Nikki Beach. I think the following day we had like a cruise on the marina. Like yeah, she'll touch on it a bit more. But like yeah, she like again, what I asked for. Like when I asked for the girl, the woman of my dreams, I was like, this is the person I wanted. She hit it. Like from the minute I stepped out. Family members, my cousins could always say like, oh yeah, like you need someone that would, the way you provide, the way you like, you care for us, for your mom, for like people you've dealt with in the past. Like you need someone to kind of like reciprocate that kind of energy. And lo and behold, like day one in Dubai, day one, day two, day fucking infinity. Like she gave me everything I wanted. So
the next day, I did go back to work because I didn't have the balls to take 2 days. I'm literally like the biggest scaredy cat. Like even that first day I took off, I was like panicking. But anyway, the next day I did go back to work, but because it was a Thursday, we finished early at like 2.
Yeah, Dubai's weekend starts on Friday.
Yeah, it starts on Thursday.
Thursday night, yeah.
So it's Thursday, end of the week. Finished at like 2, and I booked a cruise on the marina. So it was literally a private boat, just me and him, and obviously the driver. And we just went around the Dubai marina. If you know Dubai, you'll know that it's like quite a nice route. You see like really nice buildings, like the Burj Khalifa, Burj Al Arab. I don't know if you see Khalifa, but yeah, basically you go around the
like a lot of like
the landmarks. So I booked that. We went down. So I literally had to rush from work because the cruise was like for like 4 and I finished work at like 2:30. Rushed from work to the hotel, got changed. We stepped out, went on the cruise, and then when the cruise finished, we got off and we went to this restaurant in the marina.
What is it called?
Asia.
I think it's called Asia.
I think it's called Asia.
Yeah, and the view was amazing.
But like I felt proud of myself. I was like, I have spoilt this man. Like, his first time back in Dubai, I showed him a good time, basically. And then we went back to the hotel. I think the next day, or maybe that night, we went to the cinema. Do you remember? I was wearing the yellow dress. I wore another yellow dress because I knew that he liked the first yellow dress. When he came back from Dubai the first time, so when we first met, he wrote a blog post called 8 p.m. in Dubai. And in that blog post,
I
which we
ruined
will
her
link,
life. The minute I wrote that, I ruined her life. She didn't.
We will link below. If you read it, it's really sweet. Like, he just talks about like basically the moment that we met, and I was wearing the yellow dress and blah blah blah. So I knew that he liked yellow on me. So that night we went out. I think it must have been the next night.
I think the next night, yeah.
I wore this yellow dress
with a jean jacket.
Yeah,
like
little strappy yellow dress. And then we went to the cinema, and then he had to leave at like 5-6 a.m.
What was that day?
I was going to a property course. Remember, I was going to some property course, and he had to leave in the morning, and I was literally like, we were so sad.
Yo, listen. Yo, this shit got worse. Every time it got worse. Like, I think
definitely teared up.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. That one. It's so hard for men to show emotions, and like I feel like I'm in tune with my emotions, but like I remember going back into line. Like, we hugged each other. I'm like, yo, I don't want to leave. Like she was there. She was leaving. Oh,
he brought me a gift. So when he came from Boston, he had bought us matching Adidas tops. Sorry, that's going to be relevant when he explains. But cool. He bought me a gift, and I was thinking, jeez, like, guys that I've been with for the longest don't be buying me random stuff on random days. Like, he bought me this really cute maroon Adidas top, and we both had one. Adidas. He had a really big one on her. Yeah.
But I think I ended up leaving it, right?
Then he ended up
leaving it. I think I left it.
Something like that. Yeah, I think I was wearing.
Yeah, so she was like really sad. She kept mine on, but like at the airport, I'm telling you now, like, yo, don't let these guys fool you. Like, yo, they love y'all. They love y'all. Like, I was at the airport. I felt like I was tearing up. Like, when we were saying bye, I walked off, and like I came back and hugged her. I walked off, and I was in the line, and like I was like, I don't know if you ever felt like when you want to cry when you're a kid or even older, like you keep swallowing, so like you don't let it go. Like, I got in line, and like I just started bawling, like crying. I was so hurt that like I had to leave her. Like, I told you all this.
I'm bawling. You're definitely.
No, like when I left you.
When I spoke to him on FaceTime.
Yeah, I was wet, but like I took it off already by the time I called her. But I think you started tearing up there as well.
Yeah.
And that was like the first of many of
difficult airports.
Like airports hold a big meaning to us because it's like the most exciting time, but it's the worst time at the same time. So
that was pretty much the first trip in a nutshell.
Yeah.
He then went back to Boston. Obviously the routine went back to normal. We were staying up all night, waking up really early, and then maybe like I came back to London. There was kind of stuff going on with family. I came back to London, and then 2 weeks later, this guy sends me another ticket. Like, I'm coming back.
I'm back.
I said, huh?
I'm back. That was like, so basically, I messed up, and I didn't care. I spoiled her, cause every month, like, it was like, it got to the point it was 3 weeks and 2 weeks, but like in the beginning, like, it was every month, bang. I've been in 3 months. I was in Dubai 3 times. Like, people don't go to Dubai. That's like their.
This is 13-hour flight.
Yeah, 13-hour flight. Everyone look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, yo, I don't know what I'm going back to. You don't know what I'm going back to. But like 13 hours was convenient. I'm like, all right, cool, don't worry. I can read, write my goals down, manifest a bit more, do what I need to do. I think one was 16 hours, and I was like,
I remember one. He did a stopover in like Switzerland or something, like 7 hours. He was pissed.
I was pissed, but I was like, I was fine.
But that was after the trip, so it was okay. Yeah. But yeah, he then sends me a ticket like I'm coming back. So I'm like, yo, guys, American Bay is moving a bit mad. Like, he's coming back again. And then this time my uncle actually was in town. He was staying at this really nice hotel.
I was supposed to meet. I didn't meet him.
Yeah, he was meant to meet. So basically, at this point, it was like, yeah, like it's official. Like you could be my fam. So my uncle was in town. My uncle's very like light-hearted, and obviously I told him about him and whatever. So he was like, listen, I think you were gonna come and stay at my house, because I was like, listen, like you're taking a piss now. This is getting expensive, so just you can stay at my house this time. And my uncle was like, no, like show him a good time. So my uncle was like, I'll sort out a room. So I sorted out a nice room at the Hyatt Regency in Dubai. Beautiful.
To be honest, like you can't miss in hotels in Dubai. Like, if you're in the middle, like even surrounding areas, like just stay away from Dera. If you're going to Dubai, stay away from Dera. Besides that, every hotel's a hit.
Yeah.
Like, every hotel, but that one,
Hyatt Regency was really nice. So like my uncle sorted it out for us. I think he sorted it out. Yeah, he did sort it out. I think I paid like £100 or whatever,
like
and
120
out of however much it was. And then I got there early, checked in, and I was stunned by how beautiful the room was. The bathroom, it had a little living room, like it was proper cute. And then I think I came straight from the airport again. Yeah. And
that was another.
That trip was dope. We went to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah,
we went to the mosque. At that time, obviously, it was very early days. Obviously, to us, it was like the time was irrelevant, but we knew that like for family, for friends, like they'd be like, what the hell? Like it's very early days, so we didn't post anything of each other. We only like posted pictures that we had taken of each other, but not anything. Of
course, like you know the subtle shit.
Yeah,
like the finger.
So we posted pictures from the mosque and stuff like that. We came back to the hotel. We chilled. I don't remember what we did that trip.
We did a lot. I feel like we did a lot. We did Abu Dhabi. We went somewhere else as well. Went to another beach club.
We went to Zero Gravity with Vanessa. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
That was
shit.
That was recent. Yeah. Like Dubai's a blend. It's like a blur for everything.
Yeah,
but
we've been so many times now that.
But like Dubai was amazing that time. Again, airport trips was like
really tough.
Was hurting.
Yeah.
But like it got to a point where she was after like we've been together for like 4 months. She was moving back to London, and like it was like I had a choice to make.
We were plotting
to come from
on Thornton coming to Dubai.
Yeah, like I honestly I already knew like I knew I was looking at jobs. Yeah. I was applying like a madman, like tech company.
I think we were like, this is not work. Like we can't do
that. We could do it, but it was just we hated every second of not being together.
Yeah.
So like I like for me, like you know as a male, as a man, like it's trying to figure out how is maybe the hard part for guys, whatever, that they can't really kind of digest and understand how to like physically do certain things, like even in people with in their own city. But for me, I knew, like I told you, I knew the minute we walked from Dubai, the first trip, I already knew what it was. Like me coming back was like making a plan, like basically my escape from Boston. Like I wanted to come to her. It didn't matter where she was. I just wanted to be there. Like no matter how homesick I get sometimes, like I knew I did the right thing because I wanted her that bad. But like I was planning on trying to find a way to get him to Dubai. Then like life hit us a bit, and then like we said, family stuff happened, and then we decided like she had to come back to London.
Very impromptu.
Yeah, very very impromptu. So like it was like, okay, well,
change your plan.
I'm coming to London. So that was like was it 6 months in at least 6 months in, like
I think even less, maybe less than that. So we started dating March. I moved back to London July. So March, April, May, June, about 4 months ish.
But we didn't start the process until like 2 months later. And
at that point, we are gonna draw the video to a close because we're gonna talk about Thornton's moving process in another video. We're gonna look at kind of when I moved to London, what happened next, and how we got this American citizen living and working in London. So stay tuned for our next video. Our video is going to explain the whole visa process. So if you are someone who's interested in kind of understanding how to make it work with someone who might not be in the UK,
or might not be in the same country as you are.
Yeah, like stay tuned. We're gonna go through obviously the challenges that we faced, how we overcame them, and then we're gonna go through a detailed kind of the visa process, which is obviously specific to the UK, but I'm sure it's applicable to other countries as well.
But, yeah. So I think for just to wrap up, like don't settle. Don't settle. Don't think that like your needs can be met. Don't think that you can't have what you want.
Even if they're
6,600 miles away. Like you don't just never settle. Just create what you want. Let it come to you. Enjoy the process. And we'll speak to you guys soon.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.